Welcome back to From 9 to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood. And today, Katie, I want to start with my evening last night. Daisy was up till 3 a.m. and
Of
we
course.
spent the majority of it naked. Not me naked, Daisy naked, to be
Thank you
clear.
for clarifying.
I needed to clarify that because Daisy is 60 months old and she thinks she can potty train. So she's requesting to take off all of her clothes and then sits on the toilet. Right now it's in the living room because I wasn't going to sit in the bathroom for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And she sits there and pushes and then goes, shh, like she makes the pee noise, wipes herself, and runs around the house naked, only to then pee on the floor like
On the
5
floor.
minutes later. So I am sleep deprived because my 16-month-old is trying to force potty train herself. It's
That's
great.
hilarious. So it's like you see the videos of people that are like, new regression because my kid learned a new like trick. And
Yeah.
like the trick is them going blah, 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 and like they're doing that in their crib or something. And yours is just she is trying to learn to pee. So you're sitting in the living room on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I got to watch 3 episodes of the new Bridgerton series and do some
nice.
work, but
Hey.
she loves Bridgerton too. They were naked a lot as well, so maybe that's
she's
part of the
mimicking.
reason she wanted to be naked. Like, I should
You're like, wait,
psychoanalyze
maybe
that.
I should be looking internally. Why does she want to be naked so much?
But this is not the first night. Like, she just wants to strip off
Yeah.
all her clothes and go potty. She has gone twice, and it's just such a drastic difference from Colton.
Yeah.
It was a totally different experience training him, and I know you're going through it with Jack right now. So I think what better time than today to talk all things potty training.
I know, and Daisy's just trying to keep up with Jack too, apparently. But Jack's like, I wouldn't say we're potty training. We're pre-potty training, where like we talk about it. We have the toilet. He has gone on the toilet a couple times, which he's just pooped, which I think people were like kind of interested by. They're like, oh, he doesn't want to pee. But I don't think he's got that yet. Like he wants to poop on the toilet.
Well, I mean, that's probably what he watches, right? Like that's what he sees. We're never in the bathroom without a child. And if they're with their dads, they're definitely not peeing. They're like, we don't get to go to the bathroom alone. So we sit all day. So they probably think that's what you do. You sit on the toilet.
And I know, and I mean, you're getting the taste of boys versus girls, but I have heard that boys are harder to potty train than girls.
Think from everyone that I've spoken to, boys are harder than girls. I mean, they can go 2 different ways. That's part of it. 1, 2, they're like usually mommies. Like Colton has to go to school, and I think because Jack has to go to school, he has to be potty trained, right? Or they won't change his diaper. So Colton in kindergarten, Colton's been potty trained since he was young because daycare helped. But and we did the 3-day naked policy. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But he's still struggling to wipe his own ass. Okay. So they won't wipe him at school. So last night I had to stand with my son. Only 3 hours later, my daughter is naked trying to potty train 60 months, asking him to wipe until he doesn't see anything on the toilet paper. Is this good, Mom? Do you see something on the toilet paper? Like, you're not even wiping in the right spot. Like, I'm teaching my 5-year-old how to wipe his own ass still. And my daughter's wiping in the fake potty. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's so funny though. Like, so we're at the point with Jack that he's recognizing when he needs to poop. So he's like right at that point, and you just see he like is standing somewhere and he'll pause, and you see him push a little, and then he goes, "I have to poop." And we're like, all right, let's go on the potty. And then like he gets all like, we say, let's go on the potty, let's go. And he's like, no. And like freaks out.
Is he getting the sweats? Like, what potty are you using? What are you using?
We have a little one in our bathroom that he can sit on.
That's what we have like a little for Daisy
thing. Yeah.
But with Colton, I ended up getting like the insert that goes on your regular toilet.
So I think we need to do that.
And it's less scary. Like they see you sit on that toilet.
Like it's a little more fun to do that.
You lift him up.
I think that's what we want to do, but like we can't even get him to the bathroom at this point.
Is he doing like hide? He's like hiding.
He'll hide that, and then he hates getting his diaper changed now. And like so he'll hide, and then like when we do change it, he's like, let me see it. I want to look at it.
Okay,
like,
so I've heard about this obsession with seeing it. Daisy keeps looking back to see it. She pooped twice in the toilet, but like all the 100 other times she's not doing anything. But she always looks back to see. And I've heard that I've had friends and family who've had kids with pooping issues, that there's a like attachment issue. They think of it as part of their body, and it kind of freaks them out to see it like
come out,
right? Like, so when it's like there in the toilet or it plops out, it's like, oh my God, a part of me fell out. But I like, don't know if there's any child psychologists out there, I've heard that this is an actual thing. I like detachment theory from the poop, but I don't. Maybe he's experiencing that, but I do love and I know not everybody's gonna be able to see me, but like I'm standing on my little chair, I might fall, but like it's like a feral cat. Like they sit and they're like and stare at you while they take a shit. You're like, okay, thanks, buddy. But now Daisy's in the same thing. I'm like, you got to go potty, and she runs and starts taking her clothes off.
Right. Yeah, you know that it's coming, but so we're at the point where we're trying to encourage a positive experience, but like we haven't had that stretch where we can fully commit to it, but we have till September to get him potty trained before preschool. So
I do have, because Colton was in daycare and he couldn't move up to the next level until he did potty train. Yep. So I have a few things that worked for me and other moms in the daycare, because that's where I got some of the ideas from. And good old Sherry's Berries, my mom. Yep. This is a tried and true for her. She did it with 2 of the grandkids now. Yep. And it's truly that there's a book about it. You can buy the book. I can't remember what it's called. We'll look it up and link it out for you. It's like the 3-day potty training method. And realistically, they're naked for 3 straight days. Like you cannot put them in anything. They just are naked, and you go to the bathroom and there's a cadence that you do. And it really does help. It's a commitment from the parents. That's the biggest part, because they're going to have accidents and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think we've all had that like story where there's our kids pooped on the ground or peed in a corner. Like it's happened to all of us. Daisy took off her diaper and rubbed poop all over her.
Oh God.
You know, one of those. Yep. But then they also have like, there's a book like for boys. It's like the Boys Guide to Potty Training, and it has a flusher on it. And I read that every night for like 2 months.
So we've been reading 2 potty books. One he calls his crocodile book, but it's called Dino Potty.
Oh, I've seen it. It's cute.
Yeah, so that we've been doing that one, and it's like to the bingo song.
Bingo, what's his name?
Or no. It's like
how does that relate to poop?
TTY.
Oh, that's cute. That is bingo. That's good.
That one. And then he has an Elmo book that has flaps in it that opens to it all. And God, I wish we never started that book, but
we never did Sesame Street for very serious reasons.
He doesn't like it, but he likes flap books and he likes ripping them off.
Yeah,
so like it's half a flap book and half.
I also have this book that I ran upstairs and got because it's one of my favorites. My kids love the finger books.
Oh yes,
and this is poop. I think, did I send you this? Maybe
we don't have the poop one. We have a baseball one like that.
But it's like jokes. Hi, I'm Little Poop. Want to hear some jokes? They'll probably stink. What did one roll of toilet paper say to the other? I'm feeling wiped today. Like stupid stuff. Like, like whatever.
No, but it's interactive and fun. But I think the key for us is going to be getting the seats that have the toddler pull down part for it so you can sit on there.
Also,
and then the naked.
Get the urinal. Okay, so the urinal changed my life. Did the frog urinal. If you have boys and you don't have that frog urinal, them peeing. Yep. Colton's aim never was a problem because he would just pee on the frog tongue.
The flap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be a key. We did get one of those, and then we had so we have that upstairs and the other one downstairs right now, because that's where we're like, it's got to be quick. But me and Ryan are trying to work on like, okay, he's freaking out. Are we trying to rush him? Like he's probably telling us as he's going, so it's not enough advanced yet, like to know. So we're trying to not like scare him, like that. We're
you don't want to be scared. It's just more excited and like celebrate. Yeah. My sister-in-law did, and it worked. The M&M, like one M&M every time they went to the bathroom. Yeah. She would give them a prize. I know some people did marshmallows. I think she might have done that for one of the kids too.
We did. We have a dollar store bin that we have like some toys in right now.
Well, that is smart. I didn't give my kids anything. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, just go, just go, man. But I think for working moms,
doing it herself.
I know, and it's so different because she's not fully speaking, but she's really aware and understands. So it's like literally the second she starts pushing, she looks at me. I'm like, you got to go potty, and she starts running. But kind of like you said, we're kind of the other day she was halfway through the poop when the poop plopped into the toilet, and I'm like wiggling it out of her body for her.
Yes.
But I think for working moms, so if you have your kids in daycare, depending on what your daycare situation is, I'm not going to lie. Part. Well, it actually, for me, depending on where you are, they helped me so much. So I
think some don't help.
I think that I had a great daycare.
Yeah.
I mean, the hard part was when they started not wiping them in preparation for kindergarten and they come home with like a dirty butthole. We have to bathe we have to learn this skill because that's like the hard part, but they did help through the transition stages. So I'm glad Daisy is learning on her own because she's not in daycare.
Right.
So it would be really tough if she didn't.
Right. Yeah, that is good though, but it is a hard task. I mean, like the preschool we're gonna go to, they basically were like, it's 2.5 hours at 3 years old. Like it's not like, but they were like, usually most kids can make it in a pull up. So if they go a little bit, like it's okay. But they're like, if they poop, like you have to come get them.
Like, can you imagine it? Hey, so-and-so pooped. And you're gonna get like at mine, Colton had accidents all the time. He would be like, Mom, I was having too much fun. So you just peed your pants? This went on for years.
Yeah. And then it's like, you're like, you get a call in the middle of the day, like the accidents could happen daily. Like, I don't know.
For you, that would be crazy. For me, we brought in spare pairs of clothes, but I can't tell you like at least 4 times. They were like, Colton's run out of clothes. He would come home in the craziest outfits because they have like a lost and found.
So
like one day it was his favorite shorts for years were these Lisa Frank fuzzy shorts, zebra print, like the old school that they put. And my kid ran around. My kid goes to daycare. I'm very particular. You do not need to be this way. But my mom ingrained this in me. Like he's dressed nicely. His hair is hairsprayed. Like I'm sending you out.
Put together.
And he looked like literally the biggest train wreck I've ever seen. Like we rifled through garbage pails to put these outfits together. And he was happy. She's so happy.
He was,
so happy.
Of course. But it is it's tough because you're working and like, we have flexible schedules, but like we're talking about preschool and like the timing and all that. And like, what if I'm in a meeting and I can't go pick him up? Like Ryan has to get like full coverage in his class. Like he has to go through so many hoops to leave. Like the soonest someone can be there. It could be a good way
to learn for Jack though. Like you're going to sit in your poop if you don't go to the potty and he's big enough to understand and that can be the conversation, right? Like we don't want to do this, right? So when you feel it, like go potty, but I think you should do I definitely think you should try the 3-day like we're going this summer.
But that's also a good point. Like what if we both worked all summer? Like when are we going to do when does 3 days happen that we can like put together a string of days to do that when you are at work all day and then you have the weekend to potty train, but like 2 days probably isn't enough. So thankfully Ryan's going to be off and he's like, we're going into boot camp this summer. Like, don't worry. He's like, I'm going to have this done.
Boot camp.
But it's tough to get these transitions when.
Well, and then you have the transition too, because they'll be potty trained, but then they go to pull-ups. And this is something that I'm still struggling with in this phase because we did talk to the doctor about it. And so this is medical fact. It's around the age of 7 or 8. Like boys for some reason, like don't have the same triggers as females and they can wet the bed up to like 7 or 8 years old.
Sure.
Throughout that whole time because it's like a cognitive thing. So like it's frustrating. Colton still wears pull-ups and we'll go like 3 nights, nothing, get all excited, put him in bed with nothing. And then there's we're peeing the bed again. And he's frustrated and we're frustrated, but he's sleeping so hard. We're doing all the right things.
Right.
No water, peeing right before bed. But it's like, buddy, like you're going to be asked to do sleepovers soon. And I don't want you to be embarrassed. But I don't want to make you feel embarrassed that you're going to pull up because you're still a kid. Right. It's just one of those things where it's a whole nother transition and I'm going to blow up my brother's spot. Sorry, Dave. But he wet the bed forever and he insisted on like sleeping with someone every night. So like the amount of times we got peed on was unbelievable. And he was like 8 years old when it finally stopped. Yeah. He doesn't wet the bed anymore, people. I just want to be very clear. But it was just, it clicked one day and he never wet the bed again.
Yeah, it's like a weird transition. We are getting Jack used to pull-ups. Like because he's he poops once a day. So like it's the rare occasion that he'll go more than that. So if he does it in the morning, we'll put him in a pull-up the rest of the day and ask to go potty. Like, hey, let's go. Because he's more comfortable. Like he's so active and to be in a diaper, like.
Yeah, it's not fun.
And it's like hot out and like,
like what's his favorite thing right now? like his favorite show at this current second.
Oh, we have the PJ Masks pull-ups. Don't worry.
So you got the pull-ups to get him the underwear, and they make the cutest boxers now.
Okay.
So like Colton, we never did underwear. We did the boxers like Daddy, the soft, tight like boxers, and they have every show, every character at Target that you could ever imagine. And we went and bought like his favorite. I think PJ Masks might have been our first purchase as well. We're on to Pokemon at the moment, but pretty cool, super cool. I know way too many Pokemon. But you go buy the cute underwear like that are fun, let them pick them out and be like, hey, if you don't pee in your pants for 3 days, you could wear these cool undies.
Yep.
Like Daddy.
We do have some Spider-Man ones because if I have to pick one, it's Spidey and his Amazing Friends. Like
he does have Amazing Friends.
So we have a couple pairs for that, but I haven't even gotten them out because I'm like, we're not even close. But it's a good point. Like it's something to get them excited. Like, it's for that part. No, it's a very valid point, but this is going to be an uphill battle the next year to 5 years, 6 years.
We both have
don't
more
worry
kids
because we'll get him and then Kale will be ready to do it.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to do, but hopefully maybe it's not a girl thing. Maybe it's a second child thing and they're just learning because that's what their sibling does. I don't know.
I mean, Kale's definitely like, he follows Jack around. So it could be in the next 6 months, like as he gets there mentally, he might see Jack starting to do it and be interested.
Yeah. And then just let him sit on the little potty next to him. That's kind of what Daisy did. She'd sit there and we started jokingly making the noise and she showed interest right away. And the other surefire way with boys and maybe girls, I was like this as a kid. My mom would literally sit me in that little potty and put a tray of food in front, like, and I just sit there naked and eat. And then when they go, you do a huge celebration. You're like, oh, this is pretty sick. Cool. Like, I get praise and more treats if I just poop or pee in this thing. I kind of want that for myself.
Right, like an award system.
Like, can we go backward? Like now it's like such like a project, right? To like have time to go to the bathroom. We never go to the bathroom by ourselves. No one's cheering for us. It's like an act of God to be like, can I run to the bathroom real quick?
Last time, well, it hasn't been that long since somebody has celebrated my poop.
That's true, having kids.
Yeah. After a C-section, when you poop, they're like, great job.
Well, you can't leave until you go.
No, that's not true anymore. They let me leave without pooping it. After a C-section, you get like, I started taking like Miralax right away. Like it takes a while.
Oh, you're right. I think you have to pee before you leave, but not.
Pee was fine, but like, it was
a lot of poop talk. Sorry, guys.
It took. We'll make sure the episode's labeled. But everyone, it took. I don't remember. Maybe it was 5 days or so till I pooped.
That's terrifying.
But I didn't have an appetite for like 48 hours. Plus, I was taking painkillers, so you don't like eat.
Yeah, and that makes you more constipated. I think that we should like start a trend where like there's a huge celebration after. Yeah. Like
I actually had someone recently ask me like, how bad is the poop after birth? And I don't know about you, but I was really heavy on the stool softener before Jack. This is getting like really intimate here, guys, but I took a lot before Jack and I was fine. It was easy after Jack.
It was easy after Colton. It was not easy after Daisy, at all. Yeah. But I mean, I had more issues with Daisy anyways that way. Yeah. But no, Daisy was the easier birth. Colton was the harder birth. It's just that Daisy, I realized immediately that the epidurals were never going to work because it was a repeat.
You had to accept a lot of things.
I had to I just had to know and going into it, but it was more like I had more issues with that before having Daisy, where with Colton, it was never really a big issue. So I think that probably played a role, but I just didn't nobody celebrated me when I went to the bathroom, and I'm looking back and I wish they
messed up.
I mean, after you have kids, it's pretty much what do you get? Like what celebration is exciting for you?
Maybe
Nothing.
A push present.
Yeah, a push present. But then once you're done with that, the baby having an experience, literally no one gives a shit about your shit or anything else in your life.
Yeah, so that's true. If you're pregnant right now, just freaking soak it up. That people are worshiping the ground you walk on. Soak it up.
Milk your recovery. I didn't milk that.
You're never going to get it back.
I believe that maybe now we need to create celebrations like we do for our kids. I want an M&M every time I do X,
right?
Or maybe instead of an M&M, like a mimosa. Like when I do this, you reward me with a mimosa. And I think Katie, we should create a list of things that we deserve.
That we get gold stars for.
Yeah, like our gold star, whether it's a mimosa, an espresso martini, a margarita. If you're not a drinker, maybe it's just a nice little pair of earrings or something. Whatever is your vibe. Right. I'm going with a drink. But I think we should get rewarded like our kids and train our kids to reward us.
Then it's a win-win.
Yeah, like this is this is what happens when you do good things. Mm-hmm. Mommy gets a reward, you get a reward. Let's freaking go.
We're on to a new way of training here.
Yeah, and we're going to do this and we're going to reward our kids for their good pooping habits and their good peeing habits, but I think this is great for us. And also, I believe that with the potty training, it's a hard process, but once it's done, it's very exciting. You no longer have to spend money on diapers.
Right.
You don't have to stress out about, are they pooping behind the couch? Did they just, Daisy looked at me the other day and peed, looking into my eyes after we sat on the toilet.
Into your soul.
Right into my soul. Like, Mom, I'm doing it. Aren't you proud? No, you just sat on that toilet for 10 minutes and nothing came out.
And I'm tired.
I'm tired. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. No, it was 3 a.m. I got to go to bed at 3 a.m. But also, I do feel this weird sense of sadness with the last one because once they're potty trained, they're little humans. That's the last stage of, unless you have a binky, which Colton still has a binky. But that's where it's getting a little sad. She's potty training so early. And I'm like, I'm not going to change a diaper. I'll change a diaper for someone else, but not my kid's diaper ever again once this is over.
It's like a need thing too. It's just one less thing.
They need you for it.
We're starting to dwindle on the formula. I just opened the last box last night and putting that up. And I feel like, I don't know. I'm just in my feels because Cal's going to be 1. And
I know.
Next podcast, guys, I'll have a 1-year-old.
Which is really crazy because it feels like you just had that little child.
I know.
It feels like we were just picking names.
It's such a different feeling of the last one.
Unless an accident happens, Katie.
My doctor's praying every night for me to have an accident. So
the snip hasn't happened yet, unless an accident occurs.
No, yeah.
But the last one is a different feeling. It's like the last first for everything, and you do get emotional, and then you get a little off your judgment.
It's like,
do I want another one? Should we do this again?
Oh God!
Then reality sets in, and you're like, this is okay. I'm okay with you. Two's good.
We'll have to do a whole episode on this is the episode you should listen to when you need to remind yourself why you don't need more kids. We'll have one that.
We'll have that episode
reference
and just ask everyone for their stories. Moments where you had your best birth control against other children.
Yes.
Right now, Katie and I are still birth control. Yeah. That's coming up for you guys. We'll do a birth control episode, but in the meantime, we'll post all the little books that we're reading. That the urinal is the best, the mini potty that actually flushes. We'll share that with you guys. If you have any tips,
the journey with us.
Yeah, for Katie and I, as always, write us in, let us know. But I do think it's time for us to clock out of the poop talk, and we won't be in.
We won't be on Monday. It's Memorial Day, so everyone enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.